Hey folks, welcome back to Candace's Boxing channel. So, once again, I found myself listening to boxing's biggest blowhard. Don Charles, the trainer of Daniel Dubois. He and the far more likable Kieran Farrell were being interviewed by Umar at Box Nation. And I saw it come up on my feed and I thought, I don't want to listen. I really don't. Because Don Charles has become, in my book, one of the most objectionable characters in boxing. But I decided to listen, against my better judgment. And at first it was fine. I was actually quite interested to listen to, Kieran Farrell. They're talking about Daniel Dubois, of course, right? And talking about Daniel Dubois' improvements. This is all good. Interesting stuff. I've no issues with this. And clearly Daniel Dubois has improved. I mean, he was stopped off a jab by Usyk, took a knee, let the count run out. And then he had a series of really good fights. He fought Big Baby Miller to a standstill. He stopped Big Baby Miller in the last, dying seconds, as it were. Then he had that very good win over Filip Hrgovic, sorry. I've been corrected. The problem is I listen to other channels that call Filip by the incorrect last name. So, Hrgovic. And then he had that truly spectacular win over Anthony Joshua. But if you listen to Don Charles, his arrogance is off the scale. But he was asked about, upcoming fights. It's not been inked yet, but everybody is now sort of thinking that Usyk will choose to fight Dubois. And at first, Don Charles, he's so sanctimonious, and he plays the old man, the wise old man. Oh yes, well, this young man, that young man. I'm of an age, I'm the same age as Teddy Atlas, which is actually, no, you're not, but I don't think so. Anyhow, whatever. But he plays this, anyways, you know what he's like. And he said, I salute Usyk for taking this fight. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, this is a different sort of thing. And then he goes back on about the low blow. And he now claims that he's spoken to an expert in the human body. He doesn't name the expert, but he's talking about, I've spoken to this expert who's looked at the film footage, whatever. And Usyk was in spasms. It had somehow affected Usyk's nervous system. Usyk was in spasms. And there's no way he could have gotten up if the ref hadn't, if the ref had started a count, Usyk would never have got up. And it's just repeating and repeating and repeating this tired old stuff. And he was actually insufferable to listen to. Now, Kieran Farrell, on the other hand, said, Usyk is an elite athlete. When he watched Usyk fight Dubois in Poland, it was great. He watched an elite athlete in person. Kieran Farrell, of course, says that Daniel Dubois is 27 years old, and somebody who's Usyk's age, which is 37. Usyk may actually be 38 now, I'm not sure. There's a big difference, right? You've got this older fighter against a young prime guy. And I you know what? He's not wrong. I'm prepared to listen to that. I would have been prepared to listen to the entire interview conducted of Kieran Farrell. Make the case why Daniel Dubois might beat Usyk. I'm all ears. I'm interested in listening to that. Quite frankly, I think that there's a lot of merit to what Kieran Farrell is saying. But once Don Charles starts, I was watching it on my iPad, and I wanted to throw the thing across the room. Absolutely insufferable gas bag, wind bag. what has happened to Don Charles? I used to be a fan of his. I used to like him. I used to think, wow, this guy's talking sense. This guy's a good trainer. He's, kind of guy I want to listen to. But ever since he's had an opportunity to be Daniel Dubois' trainer, he's turned into the most bloviating windbag out there. And sanctimonious. Just stop it, Don. You are every time you appear on an interview, I think you lose your fighters some fans. Anyhow, that's my take. Let me know what you think. It's an interview conducted on Box Nation of the Blowhard and Kieran Farrell, both Team Dubois. Okay, I should get off my soapbox now and stop venting. But you know how it is. Sometimes you watch something and you think, I don't want to let this pass. I want to say something about this. I left a comment on the Box Nation comment section as Canada's boxing channel, which they'll probably be deleted. The last time I left a comment, it was deleted. So, okay, you just want to hear good news. That's fine, whatever. On this channel, we don't delete comments unless somebody uses lots of foul language. Okay, this is what it is. There we go. Thanks for listening. Thanks for letting me get some vintage out there. Appreciate it. Please like, please share, please subscribe. And I'll promise not to vent on the next one.